Ninja was good. Quite overcast this morning. We got a minute. We got a minute to get up in here. While we're going. See if another person go out. Oh, a minute. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon, wherever you at in the world. Good evening too. You know, how y'all doing this morning? This is Tyrus Bane, aka Snapville Gorilla. Still Snapville Gorilla. But I'm also Tyrus Bane. Tyrus Bane, the outlaw. How y'all doing this morning? On this I don't know if you want to call it a beautiful Sunday. But any day you wake up alive is a beautiful day. So, you know, count the blessings from the universe, from God, from, whoever you want to bless it. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you get your blessings from. Some interesting fights last night, right? We had Usyk versus Anthony Joshua, and we had Nick Diaz versus whoever the fuck he fought. Can't say I'm surprised by either outcome. You know what I mean? Uh, Nick Diaz had a what? A 6-year layoff. Nick Diaz had a 6-year layoff. You know what I mean? And you are the man, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you for your service. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Uh, yeah, Nick Diaz, man. Anthony Joshua too. I can't say I'm surprised by either outcome. You know, Nick Diaz on a 6-year layoff. Anthony Joshua, not really, not really a great boxer, not even a great heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? He got exposed by Andy Ruiz. Not sure if y'all into boxing, but I love boxing. So, and a little bit of MMA. I'm starting to become more and more of a fan of MMA because they're incorporating a lot more stand-up striking, which is what you know, which is what I'm into. You know, I practice Muay Thai and boxing, so I like it. I like to stand up. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about this guy, the Numbskull Lucas, man. And the reason I want to talk about him, the reason I'm on his head, well, y'all know why I'm on his head. Because, he told my children like a little bit um, during the live stream. And it wasn't just that he threatened my kids like a little bit. It was that he let me know he knows that I'm in LA and he knows where I do my live stream stuff. You know, I'm not going to get off his head until he faces me like a man. But anyway, other than that, I wanted to talk about why people take this guy serious. Like, why do people go to his channel and take him seriously as a commentator, you know what I'm saying, on, politics and, current events in the world? How do you take him seriously when you know that he's a pure hypocrite? How do people even go into his channel? Like, I would say I don't understand for the entertainment value, but honestly, especially after he started flipping out, you know, first I thought he was flipping out for the right reasons. Like, I felt like he understood that the left right paradigm was a bunch of BS, but then it started to devolve into something else completely. And he was never really funny, but after he started talking some real shit about police officers and, you know, police terrorism in the country and all that shit, I was like, okay, that's something I can get behind. But after a while, it became clear that, you know, his motivations for changing were a lot more retarded, basically. Just stupid. I can understand being turned off by a particular party, being turned off by the Republican Party, and then, maybe addressing that in a certain form or fashion. But once it becomes obvious that you're you just you holding a grudge and you're basically being a contrarian because you don't like the Republican Party anymore, to the point where you you will give up freedom and expect others to give up freedom just to go with this agenda. You know what I mean? Just to ride with this agenda, the agenda to basically um, anything that the right believes, he's going to go against it, even if it's the truth. Even if it's the truth, unless it's a glaringly obvious truth, unless it's glaring obvious, to where he can't really avoid facing the truth. But you know, look at the thing with Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj, there was a whole lot of story behind the Nicki Minaj situation, not just flowing textures, and not just how reporters, right, were trying to approach Nicki Minaj's cousin, because that's what he focused on, right? It, but there's more to it than that. We talked about the Nicki Minaj situation. There's more to it than that. It's how she feels about the hokey pokey, why she didn't want to take it for the Met Gala. You know what I'm saying? How she wanted to talk about how she wanted to research, how they're coming after her for questioning. Like all of that stuff was involved in this Nicki Minaj situation, but he chooses to focus on the swollen testicles, you know, and how the reporters approached her. Now, he believes the swollen testicle story is a lie simply because the Trinidadian government came out and said they searched far and wide and couldn't find a single case where someone had swollen testicles and became impotent, right, after getting the Modelo 19. But that doesn't mean she lied. That just means that they decided, whether it was true or not, to come out and say that. You know, if I'm calling somebody a liar, I need hard evidence. But he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't. But to leave out all that other important shit about Nicki Minaj and this whole situation, it's completely discredited in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Project Veritas thing, all right? Especially that. That's when I was like, yo, if y'all can't see how full of shit this guy is, I don't know what to tell y'all, all right? And then, especially with the Nicki Minaj thing, to come out and say anybody that defends Nicki Minaj are basically idiots, you know, that just shows you what type of person this guy is, you know? Xander, what's up? Hey, what's up? I sound muffled? Hold on. God damn it.
Did y'all hear anything I said? All right, let me start over. Because I know you probably damn sure didn't hear me. So look, first I was talking about the Anthony Joshua fight and the Nick Diaz fight, but you know, I know most of y'all don't really care about that. But I'll just say this about those fights. I'm not surprised by the outcomes. Nick Diaz was on a 6-year layoff, and Anthony Joshua really isn't that good. Anyway, so about the Amazing Lucas, man. I wanted to talk about why I'm confused as to how people still take this guy seriously. You know, how do they take this guy seriously? Now, we know about my history with the Numbskull Lucas, right? We know I don't like him personally because he threatened my children. Not only did he threaten my children, he made it clear that he knew that we were in LA, and he knows where I do live streams when he made those threats. And so I have to take that seriously. And that's why I want him to face me like a man and say that shit to my face. Bring some gloves, you know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no setup. Y'all know me. I travel alone, you know? I travel alone, I ain't got nobody with me. When I come up here, if I do have somebody with me, it's the one homie that trains with me every now and then, or my kids, or my family, but nobody that he should be afraid of. Shouldn't be afraid of me either. Come face me like a man and see about these hands. Anyway, outside of that, you know, when Lucas first started to change, I thought he was changing for the better. I thought he was waking up to the left-right paradigm lie. It was coming around to the realization that, yo, I need to take this clear pill, right? But that change just started to devolve into this fucking revenge plot against the right. Anything the right believes, anything the right says, yo, they're idiots. You know what I'm saying? He has to be contrary. He'll say fuck your freedoms just to say, yo, the left is wrong. I mean, the right is wrong. And then he tries to act like he's somewhere in the middle. You're not in the middle. You clearly have a bias against conservatives. And look, I can understand, you know, you saw firsthand, according to you, how full of shit Candace Owens is, you know, Brandon Tatum is, you know, people like that. But does that mean that You no longer believe in freedom. You no longer believe in rights of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is this coming from? You know, you're supposed to be pro 2A, but you're constantly calling for infringements, which the 2A clearly says shall not happen, shall not be infringed. But you compromise. You steady compromising just to prove a point, just to go against the right. Like, that doesn't make you appear to be a critically thinking individual at all. That makes you appear to be a punk and a tyrant lover and a bad shiner. You know, you always talking about bootlickers and cops, right? You're always talking shit against cops. But all these things that you want upheld, right? You want all these things upheld. You agree with hokey pokey mandates, right? This guy agrees with hokey pokey mandates. But you hate cops. You're always talking about fuck 12, you know, all that shit. But you agree, you come down on people who don't want to wear a face flag outside. When a cop enforces shit that the right don't feel cops should enforce, all of a sudden you're for cops. January 6th. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna point out a bunch of hypocrisies of this bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Of this punk. And I hope he comes in here and sees me. I just want to encourage him to come on out here. Come on out. Anyway, listen, there are a lot of reasons this guy shouldn't be taken seriously. And, you know, for the most part, he's not even really entertaining. He thinks he's funny as hell, but he's not. Dude is corny as fuck with his little high-pitched, whiny-ass, annoying voice. Probably why he don't have a girlfriend right now. I'll venture to guess that's one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm launching ad hominem attacks against this punk who threatened my kids. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he's not entertaining, you know. But when he started talking about things like police brutality, speaking out against it, you know, talking about the Ahmaud Arbery case, talking about the Botham Jean case, you know, and things like that. I saw the passion. I saw the passion there, and I was like, you know what? This guy's onto something. This guy's onto something. This guy is making a lot of sense right now. But then, what happened? The people on the right that used to follow him left his channel in droves. Unsubscribed. He lost over 100,000 subscribers. Right-leaning people, you know, because these people had a problem with that. And, you know, that's fine. You got a problem with me speaking the truth and going against police brutality and, you know, and all that shit? Peace out. But then, when you put that on top of this Turning Point USA situation, he starts to go a little bit too far to the left. I thought he was taking the clear pill, but he started taking that blue pill. You know what I'm saying? He started taking that blue pill. And now he's just a purple pill motherfucker. The dude is still a statist. The dude still believes in government when it suits him, when it suits his narrative. He doesn't believe in freedom, no matter what he says, and he's full of shit. All right? You hate cops. You don't think there's such thing as good cops. You want the culture of policing to change, but you're okay with them enforcing hokey pokey mandates, right? You're okay with people. You're okay with cops enforcing hokey pokey mandates, face flag mandates, and whatnot. But you hate them at the same time. You feel like, you know, which is absolutely ridiculous because there's no law. They did not create, you know what I'm saying? They did not go through a legislative process to create these face flag and hokey pokey mandates. There was no legislative process. These were executive orders, kingly orders, handed down by governors, mayors, and presidents. But you have no problem with that. Who's going to enforce those edicts? The police. You understand? So that just shows you how full of shit this guy is. Me, I'm against police no matter what. You understand? Because I feel like what policing should really be used for, anybody could enforce, right? Murder, rape, thievery, you know, child molestation. You don't need the police to handle that. You can have community security or community, you know, some type of community force within the community that answers to the people that belong to the people. So that's one way this guy is full of shit. One reason I can't take him seriously. And look, on top of all that, this guy has not gotten the hokey pokey. You haven't gotten the hokey pokey, but you're for hokey pokey mandates. Well, Edwin, or Edward, whatever the fuck your retarded name is, why haven't you gotten hokey pokey? You believe in hokey pokey mandates, right? So why not get the hokey pokey? Make it make sense. Y'all want to know why? You want to know why he said he hasn't gotten the hokey pokey? Because it's inconvenient. Not only because it's inconvenient, it's also because they made a mandate and he doesn't like being told what to do. But he wants everyone else to be mandated to get the hokey pokey. You want to know how else he's full of shit? This ivermectin story. I'm gonna break it down, and I didn't even take notes. That's how obvious it is. Hello. That's how obvious it is. I didn't even have to take notes because it's the same bullshit every time. It's the same bullshit. The ivermectin story. All right. People are idiots. So listen. He shits on people for taking ivermectin. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to say that word on YouTube. Oh well. Shits on people for taking ivermectin, right? Shits on Joe Rogan for taking ivermectin. Calls it a horse pace. Pushes the propaganda that ivermectin is a horse dewormer, right? That ivermectin is just a horse dewormer. Pushes that propaganda piece that shows, that says from the CDC, oh, you're not a horse. Don't take ivermectin. Pushes that bullshit. But won't point out, right? Won't give you the full story. He might as well be CNN. This motherfucker might as well go work for CNN. Doesn't push the whole story. Doesn't give the whole story. That doesn't mention that Joe Rogan was prescribed human dosages of ivermectin by his doctor. And not only that, the shit worked. Well, I don't know if it worked. I don't know if it worked. This could be a psyop. It could be bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Half of what you see, none of what you read, none of what you hear. But why not tell people, well, you know, he took ivermectin along with some monoclonal antibodies and dexamethasone, whatever the hell you call it. And he got better in 3 days. Cleared the virus within days. He won't do that. Why? Because he's pushing the same narrative CNN would push. Why? I don't know. Because he hates the right so much? Because he hates Brandon Tatum so much? Because he hates the ABL so much? And Steven Crowder? That even when the truth is spoken by these people or from that side, yo, it can't possibly be something that I can agree with, even if it's factual. That's the type of dude this guy is. That's the type of punk this guy is. Why not tell people the whole thing? Give people all the information behind ivermectin. Because you're full of shit and you can't be taken seriously. All right? Black Spring Autumn was good. BN was good. Rosalind. No. Rosalind. The fool didn't get the injections. He got the Modelo 19 instead. This fool got Modelo 19. Possibly. Supposedly. He couldn't smell or taste for a while. And, you know, he was under the weather. But other than that, he seemed perfectly fine without the injection, without the pokey. He seemed perfectly fine. He goes live every day. He has the energy. He does 20,000-hour lives. Couldn't tell he had it. Couldn't tell he had it. Just the inconvenience of not being able to taste or smell. And some sniffles. Will he get the pokey? Probably not. You know why? Because he's a fucking lying hypocrite and he's full of shit. That's why. He probably will never get it. He'll just say, well, I had it already. And, you know, I feel better. I ain't had no issues. I don't think I need it. Well, what do you know? Now, he said he'll get it if it becomes an LA County mandate. Like if countywide, all of LA, or statewide, it was a mandate, he said he would get it. But we'll see. He's full of shit, no matter what. Not like he needs it for anything. He ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? His job is YouTube. You know? He sits there, bouncing up and down like he want to ride something. And with his little high-pitched ass voice, acting like he funny, but he not. This motherfucker's not funny. Tell me he funny, I'm gonna fight you. Anybody that think he's funny, let's fight. He's not funny at all. He's a fucking cornball. He's a cornball who acts tough so people can't even articulate their thoughts when they call in. That's all he is. Marseille saying, what's up? Richard Givens, oh, he said a lot of stupid shit. Damn near everything that comes out of his mouth is a hypocritical lie, right? He's on a mission. He didn't. Richard Givens said, I used to follow him blindly. Yeah, so let's continue with why this guy's full of shit and why he shouldn't be taken seriously. Let's talk about the phone calls he takes, right? He has this, you know, this argument day, disagreement day, but when you call in to disagree with him, he disrespects you. He doesn't even give you time or the ability to say what you have to say. If you say something he doesn't like, he's going off. And it's very rare that he'll sit there and actually listen. And he only listens to people that are talking like asses and sound retarded. Okay? Those people that can't articulate anything. But as soon as you have something cogent and fundamental and profound to say that doesn't go along with what he thinks or believes, oh, he's disrespecting you. He's done that to me on the phone. I called in, you know, and all that bullshit. Said some shit. He didn't like it. Called me a conspiracy theorist and a fearmonger. You know, and hung up like a little bitch. Like he mad I didn't come home last night. Little punk. So that's just the type of cat he is. If he can't handle a challenge, if he can't be challenged without going off, acting butthurt, disrespecting people, you know what I'm saying, can't stick to the subject at hand, he has to go and launch ad hominem attacks toward you while you're trying to have a conversation. You can't take people like that seriously because you know why? They're narcissists. It's all about them. It's all about what they want. It's all about what they have to say. It's all about their ideals. But y'all see how I treat people that come into my comment section and disagree with me. I'll have that argument. I'll have that, not a debate, but I'll have that dissent between the two of us, and I'll address the topic at hand with sound arguments that are backed by evidence. You know what I'm saying? And then what ends up happening toward the end of the conversation? Oh, well, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? But I allow people to come in here, say what they have to say, how they want to say it, even if they're disrespectful. Because guess what? I can be disrespectful too. You know what I'm saying? I can damn sure be disrespectful if you're disrespectful. But we can still have a conversation. And at the end of the day, it all comes back to the topic. You know, but not many people, that's one thing I wish I had more of on my channel. More dissenting voices. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I don't appreciate you guys who who rock with me. You know, not to say I don't rock with you guys, but you guys are great. All right, let me go back up. Oh, hey, Deuce, you deleting people again, man? Okay, it was an accident. Before CV, I remember this is what Roland says. A regular cold flu causes loss of taste and smell. It did. It did. It does. Because, your sinuses are blocked. And if your sinuses are real stuffed up and blocked, you can't smell anything. You can't taste anything. Your shit gets numb. J Stacks, what's up? What happened to real life No Gimmicks? Well, I was going to get into that. His channel got taken down for a copyright strike. For his third one. By that punk ass Mighty Mouse. Who's so tough. He's so tough. And, you won't come to his event to fight him. So that means you're not tough. He's so tough. He's so gangster. He's so GD. That he's going to go and copyright strike you. If you call him out for being a child molester. He tried that shit with me. Didn't work. He tried to hit me with a privacy strike. Get the fuck out of here, Mighty Mouse. You don't deserve privacy. Nor do you deserve a head up fake. I don't know how many times motherfuckers gotta say it. If you're a child molester, I'm getting a head up fade from a real one. Not at all. Not at all. Not unless we're forced to. And I see you on the street. And, you know, if you think it's going to be a fair fight, you know, guess again. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what you're going to do. You're going to try to take me to the ground. And I can't have that. I can't have that. So, you know, hey, there's more than one kind of pokey. Anyway, so yeah, Mighty Mouse hit him with a copyright strike because he's a punk, straight up and down. I don't care how many people Mighty Mouse gets the best of in a sparring match. He's still a punk, straight up, still a punk. That was a bitch move. You're supposed to be a GD gangster, even though you ain't GD. You might have some GDs that tolerate your ass. And I don't, and if there are GDs out there that rock with Mighty Mouse, and you know that he's a child molester, you know he's a registered sex offender, and you know he lied, not only is he a registered sex offender, but he lied to everybody about his age at the time. Then after that happened, after he got caught lying about his age, it became about him pimping the mama out. He fucking lied about that. So he doesn't sound like a rehabilitated child molester trying to make amends. It sounds like a predator trying to duck accountability. Lying motherfucker. He picked the girl up from middle school, took her to a hotel, and had his way with her. That's not pimping. You took that child and had her for yourself. Regardless of the fact of whether or not you actually pimped the mother, it's irrelevant. You know, you act like that's some cool shit. Oh, well, you know, I was pimping the mama out and the girl didn't like me, so she went to school and told. No, you took her to a hotel room after picking her up from middle school and raped her and then dropped her off at home. That's what you did. The facts are there. The evidence is there. It's all out there in the world for you to see. So if you're GD or Sereno, whatever the fuck you are, I don't give a fuck what gang you from. Texas, Detroit, Philly, these places where he feels comfortable, Vegas. If y'all are comfortable rocking with a chomo who's clearly not rehabilitated, clearly not remorseful, he said he acted like the girl snitched on him. He was pissed when he was talking about it, when he gave that bullshit story about pimping, sat up there fidgeting and shit, couldn't even keep still while he was lying to everybody. He said she ran her mouth. Does that sound like somebody that's remorseful? Does that sound like somebody that's remorseful? So if you a gangster and you rocking with this dude, you got him in your town, kissing his ass, licking his balls from the back, massaging his eardrums, you a punk too. I don't give a fuck how many cats you got riding for you. Straight up and down. And I mean that with to the bottom of my heart. To the bottom of my heart. Fuck that. So if you think, and then he runs to bumfuck Arizona, now you're the governor of Arizona, you went to somebody's house with a wall. Fuck out of here. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about that later. Let's see. All right, let me go back. What do I think of Biden? Hold on. Yeah, he damn sure should have stuck with animation. No, I'm not ignoring you, Jay Sticks. I was talking. Jay Stacks. I thought oh, you did accidentally delete her comment. It's okay. It's all good. Funny as conspiracy theorists are convincing people that the conspiracies are just plain truth. Yeah, it's funny how that works, huh? SM Kush Clouds. I reported a bunch of gimmicks videos in a ton of different accounts. He wanted to come at me and talk out of his neck. Next day he was taken down. I mean, if you're proud of that, I mean, if you're proud of giving someone a copyright strike and having their channel taken down, I mean, if you're proud of being a YouTube snitch, hey, have at it. I'm not judging. All the shit Mouse talk though, like that's what I don't understand. A child molester can talk all the shit he want. He can call people punks for not showing up to his stupid ass events to get ambushed. But if you talk shit about him, your channel is getting taken down. Fuck Mighty Mouse. And fuck anybody that rock with him. Point blank and period. Fuck him and fuck all y'all. Fuck you Mighty Mouse supporters and fuck Mighty Mouse. Real motherfucking shit. He obviously deleted his channel, is what happened. No March 77. Mighty Mouse punk ass had in real life No Gimmicks channel taken down. Black Swan B1 says, I stopped watching all after, what's AL? What's that? After the way he tried to handle you. Who's that? Oh, Amazing Lucas, got it. He is a traitor, like he is 113 of Republicans who voted for gun control. Yeah, what's up with that? But y'all understand though, Republicans were never against red flag laws. As a matter of fact, Dan Crenshaw, bitch ass, I don't care if he's a decorated Navy SEAL or not. Look, no more kid gloves with these motherfucking traitors. No more kid gloves with these motherfucking tyrants. Dan Crenshaw's bitch ass, Navy SEAL, I don't give a hot fuck what the fuck he is. I got more David Goggins than Dan Crenshaw, even though David Goggins did not go to war and Dan Crenshaw did. I have more respect for David Goggins because, you know what's funny? Dan Crenshaw don't like David Goggins. You know what I'm saying? But David Goggins ain't sitting up here pushing gun control. Dan Crenshaw is a bitch, just like all them other Republicans, bitch ass motherfuckers. You know, Dan Crenshaw is a co-sponsor of the TAPS Act. You know, the Threat Assessment Prevention Safety Act, the pre-crime bill, the Minority Report bill. That I don't know what the fuck is going on with that because it had bipartisan support all the way down the board in the Congress, in the House. I have no idea why it's just sitting there. I don't know what they waiting on, but when they push that shit, it's a high possibility that it's going to pass. And we're screwed after that. We better be ready to get it popping. That's all I'm gonna say. Canelo, I don't know. He didn't fight. I think he's fighting next weekend. I'm not sure. Well, and I didn't see all the fight, but he gave up. I mean, listen, Nick Diaz, he had a 6-year layoff, and he's kind of old. So I mean, Robbie Lawler has been at it. Like you know, it's just I'm not surprised. Robbie Lawler is not no light punk either. Jay Stack says, I think real life a clown. It shouldn't have a voice to the movement and taking down that clown. That don't even make no sense, Jay Stacks. How is real life No Gimmicks a clown? Listen, I'll say this. If real life No Gimmicks is a clown, Mighty Mouse is sideshow motherfucking Bob. Okay? He's sideshow. As a matter of fact, Mighty Mouse is that clown from American Horror Story. Okay? All right, he is the motherfucking clown that needs to be destroyed by a nuclear missile. You understand? I don't understand that. I wish I could have seen it sooner back then. Seen what Rashad Givens, SM Kush Cloud says. I offered that dude 1K to pull up on Mouse, and he still didn't. No one's gonna. I mean, listen. You know what? You have to give him credit for this. He always said, just like I've always said, and Tazo has always said, we're not pulling up on Mighty Mouse to give him any type of square fight, any type of fair fight. It's not happening for a child molester. I don't understand why y'all don't understand that. I don't understand why y'all don't understand that.
Now when I go back to morons,
what you should want is for somebody anonymous to snipe his ass. That's what you should want in a fiction novel that I wrote. In a fiction novel that I wrote, this is pure fiction. What you should want is for a child molester to be sniped by an anonymous assassin who ain't got to lay a finger on his dirty ass. That's what you should want. What you should want is for the court system, the so-called court system that's supposed to dish out justice, to hang him or tie him to a tree, pour honey on him, and let the ants and the bees eat him. That's what you should want. Not to put the fucking gloves on and go 2-minute rounds. Get the fuck out of here. They don't deserve that. I don't understand what y'all don't get. I don't understand what y'all don't get. I don't understand what Mighty Mouse don't get about that. No one who wants to protect children is going to give life to his movement. Because guess what? If someone shows up that don't like him because he's a child molester, shows up and kicks his ass, what's that going to change? Let's say we show up, somebody shows up, puts the gloves on, beats the brakes off of him. What is that going to change? Is that going to satisfy? Is that going to balance the universe out? No. He's still going to be a fucking child molester. No. Stop that shit. Stop acting like he deserves a fair one. He does not. He does not. Point blank and period. And anybody that gives him one, they're not doing it for the children. They're doing it because they think they can get something out of it. Bottom line. They don't care about no children. You kidding me? So, I mean, you're not going to hear me say, I'm pulling up on fucking Mighty Mouse. It's not happening. I'm not going to pull up on him like that. I'm not going to do anything with Mighty Mouse. I'm going to let karma take care of him. And if I happen to nudge karma in the right direction, so be it. But he don't deserve that. Stop it. What's up, Lawrence Ritno? No, I did not see his live last night. I shared it. Just because I just wanted to, because I know that when you share live streams, you get a notification that somebody shared it for you. And I just wanted him to see that. I wanted him to see me talking shit so that hopefully he can show up to the Culver City Stairs in Baldwin Hills, not hiding. And this is for anybody. This is for a mouse support anybody. I'm not hiding. I just hope that one day he shows up. Hell, even if he sneaks me, that'd be okay. Because then I'd have opportunity to handle my business with this dude who threatened my children. You'll debate me over Rittenhouse old head deuce? Okay, we can get it cracking one day. March 77 would think you great too. When you talk people listen. I appreciate that, March 77. Yeah, good, old head deuce. A lot. They should quit over the hokey pokey. But you think Dan Crenshaw bitch ass would encourage that? No. It said he's out here pushing red flag laws. He's out here pushing the TAPS Act. That's what he's doing. He's a traitor. And any Navy SEAL that knows Dan Crenshaw that served with him, they should feel ashamed to have served with this dude who was supposed to serve to protect our freedoms and protect the Constitution and all this other shit, which they didn't. They should be ashamed of him, and they should excommunicate his ass. And I'd say that to his face. Let me see. Oh, hey, this was rooting for Diaz, but Lawler seemed like a cyborg. Yeah, I mean, he just had better conditioning. And just was sharper. Oh, hey, Deuce Lawler won 3 rounds. TKO. Let me see. Hold on, guys.
We were talking about.
Oh, hey, Deuce. You said Dark Seas of Matter. You talking about the Seas of Dark Matter? You talking about my book? Man, I forgot I wrote a book. I got a book out called The Seas of Dark Matter I wrote. It's on Amazon right now. It is a good book. It is a good book. I can't lie to you. And I wrote it. It's good. Good story, good characters, good character development, good world building. And I'm working on part 2 right now. It has been a while. I got over 200 pages of part 2 written. It's going pretty good. What's the plot? Hold on. It's basically a post-apocalyptic. It's like it's a story about a guy who's he's in Florida and his family is in California, and he has to get to California to meet with his family during a pandemic. But it's like chaotic. It's like a lot of shit is happening. It's like it's apocalyptic level shit going on, and so he has to navigate the country to get back to his family. And he's going through shit. His family's going through shit. It's good. If you like survivalist fiction, it's good. Okay. Right, local one. Good question, local one. He says, Kush Clouds, have you pulled up to an event to bag up your mouth? I can tell you, Kush Clouds probably never said a thing against Mighty Mouse. He probably a supporter of Mighty Mouse. What happens if you get a third strike? March 77. It typically means your channel is going for good, unless you appeal it. And if they pass the appeal, you can get your channel back. But you have to want to appeal it and give them a good reason why they shouldn't take your channel down. But if you get a third strike within a certain amount of time, that's it for your channel. It's done. All right, Kush Cloud, you gave him a gym. Well, we'll see if he comes where you at. We'll see if you get it cracking. Loris Reno says, how's the weather out here? Yeah, there was some fires in San Bernardino or some San Fernando Valley or some shit on Friday or Thursday. I don't know what's going on with it. It's always fucking fires here. I'm so tired of that shit. Pressure Mouse to get to Toledo, Ohio, and you will see how real and why not. I'll never I have the whole gear out there. Like I said, man, the Kush Clouds, if you want to give a child molester a head up fade, that's on you. Kush Clouds, local one is not real life No Gimmicks. That's a completely different person in a completely different state. Kush Clouds, just go turn your game on and real life No Gimmicks fought for this country. What have you ever done? Yeah, real life No Gimmicks is a veteran. He's a war veteran. You know, he went through shit. Listen, he said some shit before Mighty Mouse went to Arizona, and he said he's gonna do some shit that he didn't do. Oh well. He thought with his brain and said, you know what? You know, I'm not gonna go through with it. You know, whether it's bullshit or not, it is what it is. But Mouse didn't necessarily. Y'all acting like Mighty Mouse went to the middle of a park and was like, yeah, come on, come all. No, he went to somebody's private house. Like, you got to be smart when you approach that type of thing. Black Spring Autumn, thank you. Black Spring Autumn says Cawthorn, Crenshaw, Gates, along with 132 Republicans, just voted with the Dems to pass red flag laws. We'll see what they do in the Senate. Like I said, Republicans have always been basically for red flag laws. Listen, we just know it's time to wake up, man. It's time to wake up. None of these people are on your side. None of these people are on your side. None of them. None of these people are for the people. None of those 100, no Democrat in the House, no Republican in the House. None of these people are for our freedoms. None of them are for us. So we'll see what they do in the Senate. We'll see what they do in the Senate. But these red flag laws basically gives them the right to just demolish the Second Amendment one person at a time. They can just completely destroy it. You know, it is what it is. Nationwide red flag laws. At some point, the people have to get fed up and say, you know what? That's enough of this shit. And do something about it. You know, go to our police departments, go to our sheriff's department, and tell them, fuck your red flag laws. Like, look, man, the time for bullshit is over. Dan Crenshaw is a bitch. Cawthorn, a punk. They're all tyrants. At the end of the day, that's what these people are. Every single last one of them are tyrants. But the tyranny only works. The tyranny is only effective if we comply. The tyranny is only effective if the law enforcers enforce the tyranny. That's the only way it works. They can pass all the laws they want. If they can pass all the laws that they want. But if we say fuck your laws and live life as we choose anyway, what can they do? Even with law enforcers, there's only so many law enforcers and so many of us. At some point, we're gonna have to say, it's time to ride. That's all I'm gonna say about that. At some point, we're gonna have to ride out. Yeah, if y'all want to support the channel, Black Spring with Autumn put a link up to my book, the Seeds of Dark Matter, Disease, on Amazon right now. If y'all want to support your boy, been a while since I plugged my book. Shows you how good I am at plugging myself. But I kind of went off on a tangent, didn't I? I'm all over the place. Yes, I agree. Oh, hey, Deuce. It is good for learning how to move. To see the dark matter. Very practical. Yeah, Mario 77. Black Spring with Autumn. Put it in. The link in the description or in the thingy. Mars 77 says, I really resonate with the knowledge you have and our teaching. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Mars 77. Black Swan B1 says, I watched men nearly kill another man after it was learned that the man molested their child. When it comes to kids, I don't play. If you steal a kiss, innocent, you forfeit your life. I agree. I agree. And that's why this dude does not deserve a head up fade. So stop with that shit. A real one is not going to give him a head up fade. I don't care how much shit he talks on his live streams. They won't come to the fight. They won't come to fight me. No, we won't. Kush Kyle said won't be for no video. Next video made after he pulls up. Yeah, y'all see is Chris Yarbrough. I mean, you know, Kush, if Mighty Mouse died in a drive-by shooting, I wouldn't be sad about it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't call for that. I don't call for any drive-by shootings. YouTube, I don't call for violence. But if that happened to Mighty Mouse, I wouldn't be sad. I don't call for it. I don't ask people to do that. Nope, not me. But if it happens to him, say la vie, nigga. Say la vie. Exactly, Kush Clouds. I won't fight for a country that fights its own. That's what's up. You know, I served in the military, but I'm glad I never had to go and shed blood for these tyrants. Yeah, Logan 1. Logan 1 is not real life, no gimmicks. Trust me on that one. They will use tea to round up the stick and freedom lovers. Yeah, now they'll try. It's time to. I hope the Republicans, like the Republican constituents of these 132 dimwits, I hope they really stand up and tell them what they think about this bullshit. Like, you know, I mean, it's time to end this shit. It's time to decentralize the government. Point blank and period. That's where we need to start. It just has to happen. We need to decentralize. You know what I'm saying? We just need to break off. That's the bottom line to it. State sovereignty. It needs to go back to that. And all the way down. And then break it down from there to individual sovereignty. To community sovereignty. But individual sovereignty, that's the most important sovereignty. Individual sovereignty. That's what it needs to be broken. It needs to be broken down from the central government to state sovereignty to individual sovereignty. I mean, that's the only way we can get it cracking. Oh, I have faith in humanity. I have faith in humanity that we need to rise up as a people and take our individual rights back. Because they showed us their hand. These 102 Republicans, they showed us who they align with. You know, a red flag law, it violates the Fourth Amendment. You know, and the Fifth Amendment, due process. You know, it eliminates due process. You see what I'm saying? No, not the Fifth Amendment. whatever, I forgot, whichever one, the right to due process, it eliminates that completely. No due process. An ex parte hearing with a judge, and you can't even, come on, man. Like, we can't stand for that. We can't stand for it. So it's sending letters and, you know, sending letters to our representatives, calling them on the phone. It's just not gonna help. Black Swan B once said to go after the vest guns, they will go after civilian hand arms next. My question is, why are the head of gun lobbying so quiet? Good question. I tell you what, the NRA has never really been on our side. The NRA is controlled opposition, and they were able to compile, they were able to gain 4 million people to rock with them that are just paying to help the NRA screw them over. So, you know, the NRA is full of shit. Gun Owners of America is good. They're no compromise. They're a no compromise organization. Listen, these laws are unconstitutional. Point blank, period. And I'm not even one to like stake my rights and my life on the Constitution, but it's still unconstitutional. And as a matter of fact, it's against human rights. Listen, those 132 Republicans doing that, voting for red flag laws, that should tell you that the Supreme Court justices, right? The 6 of the 9 that are supposed to be Republican and conservative and pro-gun, I wouldn't count on that either. I wouldn't count on it. Wax Dog was good. The people have become sheep to YouTube and other media platforms and just want something to talk about. Well, that's why they come to YouTube. You just have to have discernment. You got to be able to separate yourself from that YouTube shit and operate in reality. It's just like watching TV. If you watch TV and you're susceptible to brainwashing and all that shit, you're susceptible to being indoctrinated, hold on, then you definitely should turn that TV off. But if you have discernment, you can watch TV and learn something. You can learn about what they pushing onto the people, what they push onto the people. You know, you can discover what they're using against the people. You can discover and discern and pick apart the propaganda. But only if you have discernment. March 77, I would agree that the Constitution was written for them to a degree. The best bet is to go to these sanctuary states. You know, if this shit goes through the Senate, hopefully they're smart enough in the Senate not to push this shit through. You know, hopefully they don't get the 60 votes in the Senate. Hopefully there's a lot more intelligent motherfucking Republicans in the Senate. But it just depends on what the script it says. If the script calls for the Senate to pass that shit, it'll pass it. If not, then they know that they weren't ready to deal with what the repercussions might be for passing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the best bet to prepare yourself for what's coming is to get to a sanctuary state. They call themselves a sanctuary state. That's the best bet. Chelsea G said, I left the job to make $0. Who cares what you make? Yeah? Black Swan B says, we in a worldwide pandemic. The GMO are still dying from the virus, yet they push the hokey pokey. Ignore havoc at the border, but focus instead on good. Exactly. You had enough sense to put that together. See how easy that was? I don't understand why most people can't do that. But again, I've said it before. It won't be most of us that make a difference. It'll be the tireless minority. You know what I'm saying? That 1/3 of us who would rise up and say, hell no. You know? Start with peaceful non-compliance, of course. You know? But it's coming to be that time, y'all. They're trying to Australia the shit out of us. They're trying to New Zealand us. And they're going to do it through the red flag laws. One person at a time. One person at a time. And if they pass the TAPS Act, they can start coming after people like me for talking the shit I'm talking right here on YouTube. So that's what the TAPS Act is about. They're going to look at people like me that talk on these platforms, and then they're going to come to my house and try to force me to get some type of psychological evaluation or something like that. You know, I don't have any more firearms. I lost them all. They're gone. I don't have them anymore. But, you know, if I did, they'd take that. And they'll keep them indefinitely. And they'll put me through psychological evaluation and determine whether or not I'm a terroristic threat. So free speech, you can kiss that goodbye. You think it's just about, oh, well, these private companies like YouTube and Facebook are censoring. You know, they're private companies. But at some point, they're going to be used to weed out people like me, to take my ass out of the equation. We can't let them get to that point. Because it won't be just me. It'll be anybody on Facebook, you know, Facebook posts. You don't have to be a YouTuber, you don't have to be a content creator or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They will come after you. We can't have that. Oh, hey, dude, say, hey, man. Like, if we can all agree that Mighty Mouse is a child molester who's not rehabilitated and deserves the worst in life, I don't understand what we're arguing about. I don't understand what the back and forth is about. You know what I mean? You know? By the way, Kush Clouds, where Mighty Mouse was, real life No Gimmicks was over 2 hours away. Now 1 hour. So you just said 1 hour. He was 2 hours away. At somebody's private residence in bumfuck Arizona. So just to put that in perspective for you. And then guess what Mighty Mouse did? He could have went to Tucson. You know what I'm saying? He could have went to Tucson. Listen, Nevada's not that far from Arizona. He could have went to Tucson. He chose not to. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. A Ninja says a bullet behind every blade of grass will not go well for our enemies. No, it won't. But we have to be willing to get behind that blade of grass with that piece of equipment. You understand what I'm saying? We have to be ready and willing to do that. TDOA, or Logan one says, TDOA, bro, have a good Sunday. Catch you on the next one. That's what's up, man. Peace out. March 77 says, TDOA, you see John O'Looney interview. Funeral home director blows whistle. I believe it's circulating on YouTube. No, I haven't seen that. But I'll check it out. Hey, y'all, if Local One and Kush Club, if y'all want to link up to spar and get some good training in, I would encourage that. But let's not be on some, enemy shit. When the real enemy is a child molester running around the country acting like he owns the place. That's where we should focus our energy at. Anyway, let me get back into this Numbskull Lucas and why the other reasons he should not be taken seriously. So, this Project Veritas story comes up, right? New York about to have 10 to 15% less nurses and doctors because they won't get the jab. The governor willing to let people die. Yeah, such bullshit. Such bullshit. It's sad, man. Sad. Very sad. But at least those nurses stood up, right? Those nurses stood up and said, fuck that. More of that needs to happen with all of our rights. When any of our rights are being violated, that's what we need to do. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to stand up. Peaceful non-compliance. That's what I call for. Peaceful non-compliance until there can be no peace. You understand? We can't sugarcoat it no more. That's just the truth of it. If we want to live free in this country, then we have to be willing to stand up and say no. You know? if our schools have face flag mandates and we don't want our children to have to wear those face flags, what's the point of going to a meeting? What's the point of going to a school board meeting to try to talk about it? You see what they're doing? They're blocking people from going into these meetings. They're kicking people out of these meetings. They don't want to hear you. Pull your kids out of school. Figure it out. Find a homeschooling pod to get with. You know what I'm saying? Help each other out. That's what we need to do. We need to start pulling together and pulling away from the government. Say fuck them. Force them to come to the table. And when they come to the table, we tell them what we want. What do we want? Well, this is what we should want. This is what I want. I want to decentralize and go back to state sovereignty. And then from there, you go on. You're going about your way. And, you know, let the states decide. Let the people within the states make the decisions on how they run. We can always build alliances with other states. We can always get together with other states and like work for the greater good. We can still have our military. They'll just be operating, you know, they'll be split among all the states. And when it's necessary, our militaries will come together to, you know, fight invaders or whatever to protect this country. Because that's what we should be doing. We should be pulling all our troops back. We'll still have alliances with other countries as long as, you know, they're for the better interest of the people. That's what we need to do. We need, hold on. That's what we need to do. We need to stop participating in the system. Pull our kids out of school. Stop going to work. Whatever we got to do. Start living off the land. Start trading and bartering with each other. You know what I'm saying? Get together with each other, you know, and build things of our own. Just stop participating. They can't function without us. You know what I'm saying? They can't function without us. You know? And guess what? We stop paying taxes. They can't pay the police officers. The police officers aren't going to be able to enforce anything because they're not going to come to work because they're not getting paid. And we can police our own communities. We can secure our own communities. We can do it. You know what I'm saying? We can be proactive. You know, we can take up arms ourselves. Able-bodied men and perhaps women. We go patrol our own streets. We take charge. That's what we need to do. We build our own shit. We can still build bridges. We can still repair roads, right? The government didn't give me the ability to be an electrician. I learned that on my own. I went to school. I learned the trade. And now I know how to wire a house. I know how to wire a commercial building. I know how to wire. I know, you know, industrial electrical work. Like ingenuity, you know, ingenuity and perseverance was not bestowed upon the people by government. We can build roads, we can build bridges without government. We don't need them. That's the realization we need to come to. And these 132 Republicans, they betrayed you. If you were on the right and they did that against your will. They did not represent you in that. They're not representing you. They're representing the tyrants themselves. You understand? Dan Crenshaw is not an American patriot. Well, he is a patriot because he worships the patriarchy. He worships the kingship. That's really what patriot is. Patriotism has nothing to do with loving your country. Patriotism has to do with loving the symbol and loving your rulers. No. We need free men and women aren't patriots. What we are free men and women, and we worship freedom. We worship ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? We're pro freedom. That's what we need to push, and that's what we need to help these motherfuckers understand, because they're not just gonna willingly give us our freedoms back. They're taking them one by one, every freedom that we have, every chance they get, and we have to stop allowing that. You understand? We have to stop allowing that shit. Otherwise, we're fucking screwed. And it's gonna get worse in Australia. Believe that. It's gonna get worse because this country is hostile. Well, Australia's hostile too. They got that hostility. But it's gonna get real bad if we go the way of the Australian. If we go the way of the Australians, we're fucking screwed. You can forget about it. You can forget about it. Tamiko, you funny. She says Mr. Lucas is a whole grown man. He is very intelligent, and he is being a very good actor right now. A man of mystery. He's no mystery to me. I know what his game is. I know what he's doing. He's trying to keep his fucking channel. He don't want his channel to get terminated. I understand what he's doing, which is why you can't take him seriously. No one takes an actor seriously when they're acting, when they're doing their job. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I know he's an actor. I know he's an actor. But the problem is, the people that watch him, that follow him, don't know he's an actor. They think he's real. I'm gonna point out some more reasons we shouldn't take him seriously. So we have this story about the Project Veritas, right? Project Veritas. Somebody makes a comment about how Project Veritas exposed this, that, and the third, exposed how these doctors are saying that the hokey pokey is giving people blood clots and myocarditis. Now, this is fact, right? The hokey pokey is linked to myocarditis directly in young men, and blood clots in women and men. Directly linked to it. We know this. The CDC has mentioned this. The FDA has mentioned it. The FDA said that, look, we need a study that needs to be completed by 2027 that shows the effect, how bad the myocarditis is and how bad the blood clots are. This is known. This is Project Veritas didn't expose that. That shit was already known. So, what does this guy do? He blows off the myocarditis shit. Myocarditis can be very serious. It can kill people. It has killed people. You understand what I'm saying? It can ruin you. It can destroy your heart for the rest of your life, for the rest of your short life. Blood clots are fucking serious. But because Project Veritas was mentioned with the myocarditis shit, he wants to blow it off. Why? Oh, Project Veritas. Well, Project Veritas, what they did to that postman, oh my God, during the election. Get the fuck out of here. That's the only thing he can point to. That's your argument. That's your rebuttal, is that they manipulated a postal worker. That's what news organizations do. That's what they do sometimes. And I wouldn't agree that he was manipulated. You know what I'm saying? That's just your opinion. But because you feel like Project Veritas manipulated a postal worker in 2020, that there's no credibility to the idea that myocarditis is linked to the hokey pokey, even though it's factual that it is. This is a fact. Blood clots, fact. Myocarditis, facts. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody who had a stroke after getting the hokey pokey. The hokey pokey caused a stroke. You understand? This is you are minimizing. He's minimizing the adverse effects of the hokey pokey. That, by the way, he doesn't want to go out and get. Remember that, because it's inconvenient and he don't like being told what to do. But we have to get it, and you have to laugh off the you just blow it off. Ha, myocarditis. Ha! That's all he said. That's all he had to say about it. He didn't say, oh well, we all know. Now if he didn't say this. This is not what he said. He didn't say, oh, we know that the hokey pokeys don't cause myocarditis. We know that. He didn't say it because he couldn't say that. Because he knows it's a fucking fact. But instead, he attacks the straw man of the postal worker situation of Project Veritas. He attacks the straw man. No one was talking about the postal worker. We're talking about how they're exposing how a doctor that works for the government says that the hokey pokeys are full of shit. This is fact. You're not talking about how these hokey pokeys are actually linked to myocarditis in young men and blood clots and all that shit. A doctor, right, in Florida had his platelets destroyed after getting the hokey pokey. Like this shit happens. This shit happens. And only 1% of the adverse effects are reported. We know that. But, well, the Project Veritas manipulated a postal worker. What a fucking idiot. Or what an actor. Myocarditis. Pah! Myocarditis. What about it? Expand on that. What about myocarditis, Lucas? Myocarditis. When Jamie Fain says, I would like to know your thoughts on how we help our military brothers fight back. It's all, look, when you join the military, this is the bottom line. When you join the military, you sign that dotted line, you volunteered, you signed the contract. They own you. They own you. The military owns you. So they could put whatever they want in your body. That's just, unless it's poison, right? Unless it's like a known poison. Like, they couldn't force the hokey pokey onto the soldiers until it was FDA approved, okay? The hokey pokey is now FDA approved. Any FDA approved hokey pokey medication, whatever, they can force the soldiers to take it because it's FDA approved, right? Because otherwise, you know, you could possibly damage property. They can't force you to take it unless it's FDA approved. They signed the bottom line. They signed the dotted line. I signed the contract. I gave up certain rights when I joined the military. I understood that I was doing that. That's what it is. But, if they all decided not to go to formation, if they join together in solidarity and say, you know what, we're not going to formation this morning, we're all sick. If they all fled at the sick hall, fled at the hospital building, and they all went on. Listen, if they join together in solidarity and said, well, nah, we're not getting this, we're not going to formation, we're not taking your shit. That's one way they could do it. It would be very illegal. It would definitely violate the United States Code of Military Justice. But if a good number of them did that, they wouldn't be able to enforce it. they wouldn't be able to enforce it. That's the bottom line to it. They're not going to arrest and jail large swaths of their military. They're not going to do it. So it's just about solidarity, man. It's about joining together and standing up for what's right. That's all it is to it. Contract or no contract. You understand? Contract or no contract. Judge or no judge. Lawyer or no lawyer. Like, just like if all the cops join together in solidarity and say, you know what? We're tired of enforcing tyranny. Not even all the cops. A third, a half, 2/3 of police officers said, we're not enforcing tyranny any longer. This is what we're going to do. We're going to serve the people. Nothing they can do about it. Nothing they can do. So it's just about joining together in solidarity and standing up and showing them, look, we have the numbers. We demand our freedoms. You work for us and you will do for us. And those of us that don't want to participate in the system, you will give us reparations for forcing your tyranny on us and extorting us for all these years. You'll give us some reparations and some land and let us go off and mind our own business. It's called being able to opt out. And so I still want to start the opt-out party. I haven't forgot about that. Still something I want to do. So it's just about showing them who's boss. Showing them who, you know what I mean? It's just about standing up. Look at The Matrix, y'all. The movie. Millions, billions of human batteries in those pods, right? Those human batteries that the machines were using. What did it take to get the machines to give up their control over the people, right? They had to work with us. What, you know what I'm saying? And you know, what did it take? It didn't take everybody in the Matrix to, no, it only took a handful of people. It never takes everyone, just enough of us to make a difference. That's all it takes. You know what I mean? March 77. Support your troops and athletes. Real life, no gimmicks. Had you fooled, and frankly, it's no shocker. You know what? He had me nothing. I had no expectations. I had no expectations. No problem. Look, real life, no gimmicks. Look, this is the bottom line to it. I had no expectations from real life, no gimmicks to do anything to Mighty Mouse when he went to Arizona. So he didn't fool me. What I do know about real life, no gimmicks, that I do know is factual, is that he served in the military. He served in the, he served overseas in a war and went through things. That's what I do know. So everything else, him saying that when Mouse comes, he's gonna listen. He said that shit and he didn't do it. I was not fooled. I had zero expectations. Zero. Why? Because at the end of the day, I know that he's intelligent enough to know that if he runs up to that house where there's children and old ass parents behind a wall in a planned community to cause any kind of trouble, he woke up and realized that wouldn't be a smart move. And he damn sure wasn't going up there to put the gloves on and have a, you know what I'm saying, a sparring match with Mighty Mouse. That's not what he was going up there to do. So, no. But you know what I think? Support your troops and athletes. I think that you're a child molester supporter, and anything you have to say about me doesn't matter because you're a child molester supporter and a punk ass. Period. I don't care what you say about real life, no gimmicks, what you say about me. You still, at the end of the day, support a child molester who giggled when a girl said that she could shove a fist up his ass. That's what you support. Yeah. A girl said that she feels like she could shove a fist up Mighty Mouse's ass, and he giggled like a schoolgirl who couldn't wait. So I don't give a fuck what you got to say about real life, no gimmicks, or him, or anybody, or me. So if you rocking with that dude, your word means nothing. Enough said? Great. Mars 77 says they are stating that the myocarditis was a pre-existing condition that happened to show itself after the pokey. Oh, sure. Okay. And young men who suddenly, okay. Come on, man. Come on, man. Of course it was. Of course it was a pre-existing condition. Of course. Pardon you. A pre-existing condition that probably would have never manifested if they never got a shot ever in their life. They could be 80 years old and die of old age and have underlying myocarditis. But the shot, it just triggered it. Yeah. That's supposed to make us want to get, like, okay, the hokey pokey, if you have a pre-existing condition, could trigger it and make it worse. So, see, you should still go get the shot. Come on, man. How stupid? They think we're stupid. Hey, myocarditis, it was a pre-existing condition that the hokey pokey made worse. So, still get the hokey pokey. Like, what do you, how stupid do they think we are? Come on, man. Come on. I know we're smarter than that, right? I know we're smarter than that. Tamiko Anderson says, TDOA, you are a very intelligent, whole grown man. What you just said, you have done your homework. Every man needs to do their research. Know for yourself. You have your own brain. Exactly, Tamiko. Jamie Fain, women are having issues with their period. Yeah, they are. Like, it's bad. And a lot more problems are happening. Ohead Dude says, original discharge, right? What are you talking about, Ohead? Only one is FDA approved, and they have not made it yet. No, it's not made, because they had to change the name to Community. They're using the same formula. The reason they had to change the name to Community, but they're using the same formula, is because they still have to complete these trials, right? So once the trials are completed, and they know exactly what's going on with this shit, then it becomes Community. It's no longer, whatever they're calling it. Whatever Pfizer's calling it, it's no longer that. They have to go through the trials and the studies and all the other shit, which takes years. So, you know, it's a lot of games they're playing with this approval shit. They're saying it's approved, full approval, and they'll call me a conspiracy theorist who doesn't understand the approval, even though it's plain as day. What they've been giving people is not Community. In order for it to be Community, even though it's the same formula, the same schedule, it has to go through the trials. It has to go through the studies. They have to do the studies for the myocarditis. They have to do the studies for effects in women and infants, because these ingredients, and the reasons for infants, because if for pregnant women, that's what studies for. Pregnant women, the ingredients cross the blood placenta barrier. They cross the blood-testes barrier. They cross the blood-air barrier. They cross the blood-brain barrier. That means the ingredients are going into your brain. They're going into your testicles. They're going into your reproductive system. For a woman, they're going into your ovaries and your placenta, if you're pregnant. They're doing all that. And this particular ingredient, I forgot what the ingredient is called exactly, but I posted it on my Facebook page. This particular ingredient, and I believe I posted it on here. I don't, in my community tab. I don't remember. But that particular ingredient, among the others, this particular ingredient causes myocarditis and blood clots. So, why would that be a concern for the FDA? Why would they want that to be studied if that weren't happening? You know what's funny? If you have diabetes, or if you have a pre-existing condition or an underlying condition, or if you have a comorbidity, if you have a comorbidity, if you have an autoimmune disease, if you're obese, if you have heart disease, and you get Modelo 19, and Modelo 19 triggers your pre-existing condition to kill you or to give you adverse effects, guess what it's blamed on? It's blamed on my Modelo 19. But if you get the hokey pokey and it triggers a pre-existing condition or a condition you never knew you even had, like myocarditis, then they blame it on the pre-existing condition. It's pure hypocrisy. It's pure inconsistency. It's not science. It's what we want it to be. That's what it is. So that's what we're dealing with these people. And guess what? The clown shoe Lucas rides right along with that shit. He pushes that narrative. Only one. As ex-military, don't you think we support them? We support them if they support us. That's what we do. Because right now, they're not serving the people of the country. Hell, when I was in, I didn't serve the people of the country, right? Well, you know what? I was ready. I was in place to. If I was back here in the homeland or in South Korea, and if something popped off that threatened our country and the people in our country, I would have had to load up and roll out. But as of right now, we should support anybody in government that's willing to stand up for the people, that's willing to ride for the people, that's willing to turn their backs on the tyrants and stand for the people. So if troops were like, you know what, and this is how it should be, because it's the same thing with police officers. If soldiers and police were like, you know what, y'all trying to mandate the hokey pokey for us, not only are we going to say screw you and your hokey pokey, we're not going to enforce the mandates for other people, for civilians. And as a matter of fact, we'll go as far as to defend them if you try to force it on us. So anybody that goes against the people will have to go against us. That's when we support them. I'm not supporting a cop who walks off the job, who finally decides to walk off the job because they're trying to force him to get poked. No, you should have did that shit when they tried to get you to enforce every unconstitutional law they're trying to get you to enforce. But if I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If you say, not only am I not going to get poked. But I'm going to stand for people that aren't cops that don't want to get poked. Then I'll support you. But you got to show your loyalty to the people. That's it. No compromise. So what land are we going to stand on? What land are we going to stand on? Hell, the land we stand on right now. The land we stand on right now. Wherever you at, you're free wherever you are. You're a free individual wherever you are. You understand? As long as you're not trespassing on someone else's private property that they've staked out for themselves, that they did the work to cultivate. You understand what I'm saying? Government doesn't do that. They take from people to cultivate the land that they take. All these federal lands, they don't own that. They didn't earn that. They decided to just take it for themselves. But they didn't cultivate it. They didn't build on it. No, they used the people to build on it. They used the people. They used our funds. They used our time and labor and energies to do so. So the land you stand on is the land you stand on. Wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. A free individual. And that goes for any aspect of your life. If you got problems, if you got the same problems following you wherever you go, it's because you have a lot to do with why that problem exists. Because wherever you go, there you are. So same goes with freedom. Same goes with your inherited rights. Wherever you go, there they are. Because you are a human being. You are a human being. That's understood. That's understood. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. Oh. Jamie Fain says, I really respect you for speaking of the issue today. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Jamie. Jamie Fain says, 16 to 30 healthy men don't get this heart condition. It's a dart. It's the dart, exactly. Yeah, they changed what it was. Thank you again, Black Spring with Autumn, for posting a link to my book. If y'all interested in purchasing The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease on Amazon right now, there's a link for it. You know what I'm saying? It's a really good read, really good book, if I do say so myself. James Fain says, Edward Lucas screaming at people to get the dart, but he hasn't gotten it. Nope, he hasn't. Yeah. No, that's what he's saying. He says, and this is what I think happened, y'all. Far be it for me to not trust someone like Edward Lucas, you know, but this is what I believe. I believe that people were getting on his head about getting poked because he's pushing the poke. So I think he concocted this bullshit story about getting no taste and no smell so that he can then say, well, I already had it, so there's really no need for me to get it. I'm young, I'm healthy, I got it and I beat it, so I don't really need to get it. That's what I think that's for. I think he's going to use him getting Modelo 19 to not get it, to not have to get the hokey pokey. Now, here's one thing you can do, and a couple of people already did it, like a lawyer and a doctor. One's a professor at a college. So they're trying to do the hokey pokey mandate at his college. So What he did was, he knew he had it already. He went and got tested for the antibodies in his T cells and B cells. So there's like multiple types of tests you can take. And so when they came back, he took it to court and said, look, I don't need to get poked. I already have natural immunity, which is stronger than hokey pokey immunity. He won his case and was able to keep his job. So he didn't have to get forced to get the poke. Now, I don't think, now you know, no, for a fact, you shouldn't have to go through all that to not get that poke to be able to go to work. But you know, that's what he did, and he was able to get it cracking. But you shouldn't have to do that. But see, that's what this system does to us. The system makes us jump through hoops just to, you know, just to enjoy the rights that we already inherently have. They make us jump through hoops. But those who run the system, they enjoy their rights regardless. They have, like the politicians, they all have qualified immunity. You know what I'm saying? They all have this bullshit going on where they can basically do what they want. They can, you know, it's rules for thee and not for me. So we already know how they operate. Well, it's time for us to operate the same way. It's time for us to take our rights back. Hold on.
Yeah. You could feel it for sure. Yeah. It was not on the
Edward Lucas.
No.
Oh, Blash from Autumn says absolutely,
Yeah,
exactly.
No.
Kano says, I thought the exact same thing. Lucas' main problem is he yells at people much older than himself, where he probably could learn. Yeah, he's an idiot. He don't want to learn from nobody. He wants to be the one to know everything. Fuck him. The new infrastructure bill wants each state to put 30% of their land. Yeah, it's bullshit. So that's that bullshit. What is that going to do? They want us to give up 30% of land to what? To the feds? Get the fuck out of here. The federal government is the biggest polluter on the planet. Fuck that. Fuck that, man. It ain't going down, man. Fuck that. That 30% of that land should go to the people. That's where it should go. That's where 30% of the land should go. Period. Fuck out of here. See, they always want something. This is all they do is take. Bitch ass niggas, man. Can I ask why you don't respect Tatum? Sure, you can ask that. I don't respect Tatum because he's also a hypocrite. He's always hooping and hollering about freedoms and this, that, and the third. He's always hollering this and that. He's always hollering this anti-government shit. This anti-big government, anti-government. But he's still pro-police. It's like he doesn't understand the reason the government exists in the first place as it does. The reason the government has so much control over the people is due to law enforcement. But he'll back the police no matter what. I can't respect that. That makes you a statist. And, you know, putting the state before the people, that's what makes you a statist. And you're putting the state before the people if you put the police before the people. Same with ABL. ABL is always saying, we don't need police reform, we need citizen reform. That shows you that he puts the state before the people. Because the police They're state run. They're state run. You know, complaining about mandates and complaining about this, that, and the third. But who's going to enforce those mandates? Who's going to enforce them? Nancy Pelosi? AOC? Bernie Sanders? Is he going to come? Is he going to come to your house? Is he going to come to your job and pull you off your job if you don't bring your hokey pokey passport? No, the police will. What do you do with criminals? Same thing we do with criminals anyway. Like, so we can do with criminals what police do with criminals. Police are humans. They're human beings. They're people. They're not special superhuman people. No, you have a private security force that polices your neighborhood, but they answer to the people. That's how you do that. Private police forces. They have those. The same thing they did in Mexico. Y'all know what happened in Mexico, right? I touched on this before. So in Mexico, there's a town way down south of Mexico that kept getting terrorized by the cartels. The police wouldn't do shit. All right. So 75% of the police in Mexico are owned by the cartels. So what the people in the town decided to do is take little hunting rifles, take whatever weapons they could, and they started protecting their own neighborhoods. They started arresting cartel members, killing cartel members, because his cartel members would try to run up in a village and take their children for the trafficking. No, they wasn't having it. They'd kill them, they'd arrest them, lock their ass up, and they did this with little fucking with little hunting rifles. That's what we do to criminals. And we actually operate in how criminals, what real criminals really are. Criminals have to leave a victim, right? If you don't leave a victim, you don't commit a crime. So all you have to do is eliminate all the laws and operate by natural law, operate by the golden rule. And if you go outside of that, then you get dealt with. It's just not state run. It's not state run. That's it. It's the only difference. And it'll run better. You'll have better cops that are more incentivized to do the right thing because they'll have to compete for their position. They'll have to compete for the work. They'll have to compete for the contract with the people. It'll be a lot easier. Simple as that. No, but we don't need law enforcers. We don't need that. We don't need law enforcers. Black Swan B1 says, unless a country steps up and buys the Amazon, it doesn't matter if each state is 30% of the land. Does the land already come with trees and thriving wildlife? Well, you'd be surprised of how much wildlife and trees there are in America, in the United States. A lot more than they want you to think. The United States is over 90%, 95% ruled open space. 95%. Listen, they know that people aren't going to go and traverse the entire country or the entire world to see how much thriving land there is. Yes, is there a lot of air land? Is there a lot of desert? Yeah, but there's also a lot of green land with good soil and groundwater where you can grow shit. Trust me, you know. And guess what? In those parts of the country where it gets really cold, people have been thriving in those parts of the world for centuries, for thousands of years. just got to figure it out. You don't need the government to survive. You don't, matter of fact, it's imperative for our survival that we get rid of government as soon as possible. The sooner we get rid of government, the better we're off we are. Because the government has demonstrated that they destroy everything they touch. Everything they get involved in gets destroyed. It gets worse. So we just have to recognize that. Oh, ABL does duck mad issues. Kano says, I agree with some of Tatum's views, but he is hypocritical. Plus, he just cares about making money on YouTube. He's not going to really go out there and fight for it. No, he's not. And if he, I hope one day he does. I hope one day he wakes up and realizes, look, I can't keep backing the police up. I can't keep backing the police up. If they're going to continue to enforce tyrannical laws, I can't back them up. Once he recognizes that, once he gets over that hump, he's good to go. He's good to go. I'll say, as a matter of fact, I'll say the Hodge twins are closer to recognizing that than Brandon Tatum. As a matter of fact, Brandon Tatum got on the Hodge twins for going against the police in a certain situation. So it's just, look, you got to call these people out, man. Brandon Tatum, he blocked me. I can't even comment. I can't even comment on his fucking YouTube channel. Like, he blocked my little ass. He blocked my channel. And I've never gone on his channel and typed any disrespectful shit to him. I've done plenty of videos on him, but I've never actually, like, I've dropped super chats to ask him crucial questions. But I've never gone on his channel and, like, disrespected him, cussed him out, called him out. I've never done that. So I know he watches my channel, especially when I mention him. So
Which is interesting, don't you think?
he just has to he just has to go full bore with it. He can't go half-assed. He's going half-assed. As long as you can't be pro-police and pro-freedom. You just can't. Out here getting it. People out here getting it, y'all. Go out and get it, y'all. Everybody that comes out here ain't super fit, but they're getting it. They're working on it. They're working toward that goal. Black Swan B1 says, I actually remember the days when communities protect and serve themselves. As we should. As we should. I don't know how old Lucas is. Already might be 30. I don't know how old he is. But he acts like a 12-year-old. You know what he reminds me of? A precocious teenager. That's what he reminds me of. A precocious teenager. Oh, he blocked you too, Jamie? Good for you. Good for you. But I never actually called him out on his actual channel. Like, not like that. I was asking him serious questions, especially when he got mad. When he showed a real moment. When he showed a real moment and almost lost half his base. Brandon Tatum. When Trump signed that $6.2 trillion stimulus package. Remember that? He got real upset, got drunk, and was talking shit about Trump signing that, saying he was done with Trump. And I said, man, and I remember this. I sent him a super chat. I was like, yo, what we need to do is, I said, we need to decentralize the federal government. We need to decentralize it and go back to state sovereignty. He agreed 100%. he agreed 100% with that. He showed a real moment. But even if you agree with that, you can't be pro-police, because the police are going to be they're going to answer to the government, and they're going to try to stop you from decentralizing the government. You understand? So it's very important that we understand that. You cannot be pro-police and pro-freedom. It doesn't work like that. It just can't. They're antithetical. They're diametrically opposed. They're on different sides of the spectrum. You cannot be pro-police and pro-freedom. It just can't. It's a conundrum. It's a paradox. It can't exist in the same point at the same time. They fight against. If they were physical beings, they couldn't exist in the same space. They couldn't even exist in the same universe. You can't have pro-police and pro-freedom at the same time. Because even if those police become pro-freedom and start acting on the side of freedom, they're no longer police. They are champions of the people. Once your police become champions of the people, then we can talk about it. But until that time, I can't take him seriously when he talks that freedom shit. When he talks that anti-government shit, I can't take him seriously. Because police is government. Police is government. Whew. I am done. I am done. I am done. Yeah, so like I said, can't be pro-freedom and pro-police. It just don't work like that. Yeah. Jamie Fain says, "You have given me a lot to think about and research." Thank you. You're welcome, man. That's what I'm here for. That's all I want to do is help people, get people to think. Timmy going to says, "I have seen him. He must be a born genius because his wealth of knowledge is what I look at, and he doesn't seem 30 in the brain." Lucas is a uber brainiac. I don't know about that, but he might be. But at the same time, he don't make no damn sense. And a lot of brainiacs, sometimes they don't exercise common sense. You know, that's just a reality. But if he's being an actor or whatever, I mean, I don't know. Keno says, only follow law enforcement. I only follow law enforcement that stays within their constitutional authority. They're supposed to follow the Constitution, but none of them do. None of them do. No law enforcement follows the Constitution. They don't. They just don't. Because there's laws in the books that they have to enforce that are unconstitutional. They follow unconstitutional orders. You know, there's unconstitutional laws that they have to uphold. So, you know, at the end of the day, they exist to enforce and uphold tyranny. That's what police officers do in this country. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Much love, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Go check out that book on Amazon. The link's in the description. The link is in the chat somewhere. Black Spring Autumn put up. And I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Much love. Peace out. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom, people. Peace.